Okay, people really should know that this is a part of the Agenda 2030, is a part of a depopulation exercise, which is going to encompass biblically famine. Take the farmers out, that's what you got. War, so we're pretty much in the wars, and the pestilence, which is the vaccine. People don't realize that the COVID vaccine was just a part of the psyop.
So today I'm here to talk about something that has been a pressing issue across the UK over the past few weeks, the recent farming protests. So thousands of farmers have taken to the streets, voicing their concerns over recent changes to inheritance tax laws and a few other tax laws they feel are threatening the future of family farming in Britain. In autumn 2024, Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced significant reforms to inheritance tax, particularly affecting agricultural assets. So starting from April 2026, farms valued over £1 million will be subject to a 20% inheritance tax. This marks a huge departure from the previous policy where assets like this were largely exempt, allowing family farms to pass 3 generations without substantial tax burdens. So on the 19th of November 2024, an estimated 20,000 farmers converged on Parliament Square in London. The demonstration, that was organised by the NFU and other agricultural bodies, saw participants express deep concerns about the future of farming and what these changes meant. Many of them feared that the new tax will force them to sell portions of their land to meet tax obligations, potentially rendering their operations completely unviable. Amongst the protesters was Jeremy Clarkson, who described the tax hikes as a hammer blow to the back of the head of British agriculture. He's been slammed, but ultimately he is not where the focus should be here. Farmers argue that their land may be valuable on paper, but their actual incomes are actually modest, making it challenging to pay the proposed taxes without selling off parts of their farms. The government maintains that the tax changes are aimed at ensuring fairness and making sure that farms aren't used as tax havens and tax shelters by the ultra-wealthy. They argue that the majority of farms will remain unaffected, with the tax only targeting the very wealthiest of estates. Now, beyond the immediate financial concerns, farmers have also highlighted broader issues. The agricultural sector is already grappling with challenges like climate change, soil erosion, post-Brexit trade uncertainties, and the rising operational costs and cost of fuel, fertilizer, etc. They argue that these extra burdens could exacerbate the problems, leading to a reduced domestic food production and increased reliance on imports. Farmers argue that these cuts are going to hit far more farmers than the government is calculating, and that these changes to inheritance tax and other taxes mean that they will be forced to sell off packages of land in order to pay the inheritance tax bills, which will ultimately lead to more and more wealthy folks using the land to avoid taxes, instead of having it used for productive farming. I decided to go and speak to the people at the protest to see what they think. So, hello. Thanks for doing this. Just take a quick shot of your sign. We stand with Brothers Farmers. So why are you here today?
Well, he's supportive of Britain's farmers. He's solidarity with Britain's farmers.
Why do you think they need that support? Well, there's a lot of people saying they should pay their fair share. Why do you think that's not the case?
Labour are meant to be, the working people's party. Farmers are working people. They may be asset rich, but they're cash poor. Other farmers' grandson. This will affect us as well. Just because to have land doesn't mean have a lot of money. And it's going to affect an awful lot. Yes, but it was fabulous.
Why do you think the government decided to go after farmers in inheritance tax?
I don't know. I think it looks good. The optics of it are that, farmers are the wealthy gentry, aren't they? But that's not true. There are a lot of small farmers who are working people are not particularly well off.
My name's Josh.
Josh, I'm Roddy and this is John T.
Lovely to meet you guys. So why did you come down today?
Because we are farmers in Oxfordshire. We're on a family farm there, and this will affect.
What would you say to people who think that this is only going to affect people like James Dyson and Jeremy Clarkson?
They need to actually look at facts, look at the value of land. They actually look at the costs involved in it, involving business, and average price of farmland, an awful lot. The average farm farm at the leads back 200. Yes, 100 acres. By the time you throw in the value of the house, there may be other release available on the house, put it all together, and it's us. So that's why we're affected. We also have another family business also be affected by business property relief being abolished the same way, changed the same way. So, but yeah, we're caught in the crosshairs.
Why do you think governments had decided to do this?
I don't know. I'm not sure whether it's because they have other calculation or they don't want to do calculation. And they think that's an easy pot to go for. We're small in number by the general population. And on paper assets, we have big assets. However, a lot of us have borrowed against those assets to invest in our business. What say you take into consideration borrowing against the asset as well as the tax, then it's going to be very damaging. I would like my son to continue. He's just been to agriculture university. He will meet a degree in agriculture and business.
Grats.
He's got a student loan to pay off, and then he's got prospects paying booze and car tax billings, hundreds of thousands per bag. It's very difficult to know how we'll keep things up.
Yeah, it's worrying. So what would your message be to the general public who don't quite grasp why this is so important?
Please support us. Please make the voices heard. We think this is the wrong way to go about things. We're not trying to avoid tax. We just think this is a very foolish, ill-thought-out way of approaching a problem. We know that the country needs the retained tax revenue, but it needs to be thought out, and one feels that it's been taken in a prejudicial way. Like I'll say these at all.
Why are you here today?
We're here to support farmers.
Just to support farmers. Why? What do they need support for?
Everybody needs support in this day and age. I think I've come with thoughts that aren't specifically farmer related, although I've got a token hat.
Yes.
I thought it's important to actually relay other messages to people who might not be aware of them. I did a similar march, education, if you like, with the No to NATO, which is Lisa down here. Just assume that people would all be awake to the WEF Agenda 2030. And I was shocked that hardly anybody were. And I suspect that might be the case here today. So people just think this is about the inheritance tax without actually really realizing what the big picture is.
What would you say the big picture is?
The big picture is depopulation.
Depopulation. So what, you think they want the farmers' land, basically?
So, yeah, in the short term, yeah. But when you haven't got a population, you've got all the assets of the world anyway.
Well, yeah, it's concerning. So why do you think so many people decided to turn out? Do you think it's for the same reason, or do you think they're just here about the inheritance tax?
I don't know. I think everybody's concerned about the inheritance tax, 20% inheritance tax on everything over $1 million, and the offspring's ability to pay that amount of money. But okay, people really should know that this is a part of the Agenda 2030, is a part of a depopulation exercise, which is going to encompass biblically famine. Say the farmers out, that's what you got. War, so we're pretty much in the wars, and the pestilence, which is the vaccine. And people don't realize that the COVID vaccine was just a part of the sale. And we never had any excess deaths in 2020. People haven't woken up to that, which is, again, quite amazing. And, all those flu cases disappeared. It's all taken over by COVID cases. And expect that with audio PCR testing.
Awesome. What would you say to people who say you sound slightly crazy? I'm not one of those people, but if there was people saying, okay, maybe you sound like a little paranoid, maybe, what would you say to those people? Where would you point them?
I would suggest leave Agenda 2030.
Fair enough. Great answer. Okay, thanks very much, man. We'll wait in there. Why have you come here today?
To support our farmers.
And why do they need support?
No farmers, no food. We need fresh, not that what they buy from supermarkets. Yeah, I'm not so keen in buying all the things from supermarkets. There are some things you can buy, yeah, but I just feel if all more people in this country support the local farmers and the local shops, local butchers, like what we are doing now, then it will be good for the country in term, because it's like back to basics, yeah. Because in the olden days, I'm sure you did never had supermarkets. How did people survive?
It's true. Yeah, they went to the farmers.
So we went to the farmers. So they are part of the country. So trying to take away their land is very cruel.
Why do you think the government has decided to do that?
Well, they got their agenda, haven't they? They do have the agenda. Of course, we know what it is. Yeah, because for me, I am originally from Malaysia. And I've seen it in Malaysia. We got an actual British colony. So whatever is happening here, I've already seen it in Malaysia. So the two-tier system, which is in Malaysia, when I see it here, I feel very sorry for the natives as well as the farmers, because farmlands, they're beautiful farmlands, the countryside. That's what Britain is known for. And if you're going to take that away from the natives, what is there left of the country? Have these politicians thought about it? No. They are thinking of their politics. They're WEF, they're globalists, yeah? They're not worried about these poor farmers. So it is our duty to support them.
Could you explain really briefly what happened in Malaysia, like you were talking about?
Two-tier policing. Oh. We had two-tier policing, we had two-tier system. Like what you're experiencing now. So I already gone through that over there. And to think that I am experiencing, I mean, the natives, not me, the natives are experiencing this. I feel very sorry for them. You know, because I know what it feels like to be in a case, two cases. And for that to happen in a country where the whole world follows your system. And to see it until it happening here, you are no worse to this crime here. So, it's just like the Americans who are saying now, England is the mother tongue for the world. And to see it in destroying this way. Yeah? Now they're coming for the farmers. What's next? What next do they have in store for the natives? I'm from a minority group, but I'm asking for the natives now. What left? What others are they going to go after?
Yeah, well, I think everyone's worried about that. But anyway, thank you very much. That's absolutely perfect. So, hello. Thanks for doing this. So why did you decide to come down here today?
Because we are so cross with the government about how they don't seem to respect farmers. They just want to tax us into oblivion, basically. Farming is so important to this country, to everyone who lives in here, also to young people, and you just cannot believe that what they're trying to do to us. No, I think everyone feels the same. There is so much anger in the entire industry. We know, everyone now knows we need to come together and do something. Tell the government, oh, you had enough. You need to start listening. You need to start valuing our industry. Basically, reverse this decision. Please, just inheritance tax. This may so about reduction in the basic payment rates. It's also about tax on the dot cab pickup, potential fertilizer tax. They're just hammering us until we act.
Why do you think they've decided to do that?
Well, this is an easy target. I don't think they value the fact that food is produced in this country. They think that they can import it from God knows where, and then from getting down their environmental, reducing the environmental impact of agriculture. But it does just shifting the problem elsewhere. If we produce food in this country, we can regulate it. Know what. Make sure that we're doing the least harm possible to reduce food. We've all got to eat. It's got to come from somewhere. Why not
make it here where it keeps money in the country. It just makes no sense to me.
Thanks very much for doing this. So why did you decide to turn out today?
Well, just to show support for the farming industry, because we're a family farm. I'm second generation. We've got a third generation, so my sons are. And this porridge snack is going to rip our industry apart. So that we're here to protest, to make sure that government listen, hear Bessie.
What would you say to people who think this isn't really going to affect very many people apart from like James Dyson and Jeremy Clarkson?
No, they've got it all wrong, because the average family farm now is about 230 acres. And so to value on that is probably £5 million. So it's going to affect everyone. And the biggest problem with the government's policy is they accept the threshold at £1 million. It's too low. None of us, we're all asset rich, as the speaker said, and cast balls. So our return on capital is very low, but we need our farms to produce feed. So if we sell our farms, we don't have a battery to grow our feed. But yeah, so it's really important, really, really important. And farmers are the custodians of the countryside. The reason the countryside looks like it is because of us. We look after it, we tend it, we look after our local communities. It's really, really important that our industry is recognised.
Yeah. So what would you say to people who think it doesn't matter, we can just import the food from wherever?
Good luck with everyone. And look forward to empty shelves, because you cannot guarantee a harvest everywhere. And why import a product? We've got no control over the way it's produced. Over here, our assurance standards are fantastic. Food is really well produced to a very high welfare standard. What you bring in over the water has no standards. So you just as well look after British farmers and the industry in this kind of thing.
Brilliant. That is absolutely fantastic. Do you run a business of any kind? Do you want 25% off up to 20 taxi rides? Well, if you sign up to Bolt Business with my promo code, that's exactly what you'll get. You don't have to use all 20 rides, and you can use it for your own business rides or for your employees. It couldn't be simpler. Follow the link in the description and use the code BB25OFF20 to get 25% off 20 taxi rides today. That's BB25OFF20.